and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Amir, and today we're diving into one of the most influential works of literature, Fyodor Dostoevsky's. This book isn't just a classic, it's a deeply philosophical and psychological exploration of the human condition. So in today's video, I'm going to break down 5 lessons you can learn from this thought-provoking masterpiece. We'll explore the dark contradictions within ourselves, the dangers of isolation, and the paradoxical nature of freedom. Trust me, you'll want to stick around till the end for some seriously life-changing insights. Lesson number 1. The complexity of human nature. Dostoevsky introduces us to the underground man. Now, this guy, he's a whole mood. He's a walking contradiction, constantly second-guessing himself, battling his own thoughts and emotions. And you know what? That makes him incredibly relatable. See, the book teaches us that human beings aren't just these rational, logical beings making calculated decisions all the time. We're a mess of emotions, often irrational, deeply flawed, and let's be honest, prone to making questionable choices. The underground man, with all his neuroses and contradictions, throws a big old spotlight on this very human struggle. He embodies the chaos and irrationality that exists within us all. This complexity, as the underground man so brilliantly demonstrates, makes us unique, but it also causes a lot of inner turmoil. Lesson number 2, the dangers of isolation. So, the underground man, he's not exactly a social butterfly. In fact, he chooses to isolate himself from society. He's convinced he's above everyone else, too smart, too aware of the world's hypocrisy to engage with it. But here's the catch. Isolation isn't the peaceful escape we sometimes imagine it to be. It can be a seductive trap, leading us down a dark and twisty path of misery and self-loathing. The underground man is a perfect example of this. He thought he was escaping society's judgment, but he ended up trapped in his own. It can trap us in a cycle of loneliness and resentment, making us prisoners of our own minds. Social interaction is absolutely essential for our mental and emotional well-being. Lesson 3 is a big one. Freedom and choice can be paralyzing. Yeah, you heard me right. That thing we all crave, that we see as the ultimate goal, it can also be a huge burden. The underground man argues that sometimes when we have too much freedom, we end up making terrible decisions, or worse, we get so overwhelmed by the possibilities that we do nothing at all. Dostoevsky shows us that while freedom is crucial, it can also create this immense pressure to make the right choice. And sometimes the pressure is so intense that we self-sabotage, making irrational choices just to prove we can. Freedom without a sense of purpose or direction can become its own form of prison. Lesson 4. The eternal struggle between reason and emotion. One of the most fascinating things about is how the underground man is constantly battling himself. On one hand, he's incredibly intelligent, analytical, a master of overthinking. But on the other hand, he's driven by these intense emotions, these deep-seated desires that he can't seem to control. And here's the thing. His intelligence doesn't lead him to happiness. In fact, it often does the opposite. He overthinks everything, analyzes every situation to death, and ends up paralyzed by his own thoughts. Dostoevsky is showing us that a balance between reason and emotion is essential for a healthy and fulfilling life. We need both. Logic and reason help us navigate the world, make sound decisions, and understand complex ideas, but emotions give our lives meaning. Ignoring those feelings can lead to a whole lot of unhappiness, no matter how smart we are. Finally, Lesson 5. The search for meaning in suffering. Dostoevsky knew a thing or two about hardship. He lived through some tough times, and that experience deeply influenced his writing. He explores how suffering, while awful and painful, can actually be a path to self-discovery. The underground man goes through the ringer. He experiences physical pain, emotional turmoil, and a whole lot of existential angst, but it's through these experiences that he starts to confront his deepest fears and desires. Suffering has a way of stripping away our pretenses, forcing us to confront the rawness of existence. It's not about glorifying pain, but about recognizing that it's often an inevitable part of life. The underground man's journey reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's potential for growth and understanding. And there you have it. 5 powerful lessons from Dostoevsky's. This book may be short, but it's packed with so much depth and insight that you'll find yourself thinking about it long after you've finished reading. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more literary insights or philosophical discussions, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know in the comments, what was the biggest lesson you took away from? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, happy reading.